We're back.
Hello.
Yep.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel.
Live and direct.
My name is Immaculate, theogunlanas.
And I'm Unconditionally, aka Saint Lumi. Never forget the ganja.
Always forget the ganja.
Also, how you
My name is
hating,
Immaculate,
baby?
theogunlanas, aka Selflessness. And thank you for watching
That's
this
just
video.
hate. That's just hate.
Thank you for watching this video. Welcome back to our YouTube
Yeah,
channel.
welcome back.
If you are already a subscriber, if you are not, you know what to do. Hit the subscribe button.
Yep.
Hit the subscribe button. Right, we are here today to talk about something very important. This thing has been choking our body, it has been getting under our skin, it has been getting on my nerves.
Yep.
And I just said, you know what? We need to talk about it, not address it, because we're not really, you know, solution providers for the whole world, but just talk about it.
And I mean, there's been a lot of misconceptions, and when it comes to the topic of submission and the likes,
and love in marriage, and how
yeah, exactly. Because at the end of the day, I believe that in marriage, everything is interwoven and interconnected. You cannot have one without the other. You cannot have love without respect. You cannot have submission without love. They are all just interwoven, and then they go hand in hand.
Yep.
Like you cannot say, oh, I love my wife and I don't provide for her, or I don't give her essential needs or something. I mean, it all does not. Everything works together. Like you cannot leave one aside and say, oh, I provide for my family, but I don't give my family attention. How does that work? Like, exactly.
Everything works hand in hand in marriage, and so
everything.
This video.
Yep.
Us addressing some of those things.
Well, we are not addressing.
No, not addressing. Sorry, talking about.
Madam UK teacher.
Sorry, not this. Don't be hungry.
We are not addressing. We just want to talk about it from our own point of view. Yeah, like how we view it, and
there's just so much going on in the internet about marriage, and yeah. Anyways, that's what this video is about. So let's get into it. So, I think the first thing I want to point out with regards to the topic of love and submission in marriage is so many people like to talk about, oh, my wife is not humble, she doesn't submit to me, you know, she believes in God or whatever, and Bible says she should submit. Wife, submit to your husband.
Yes, and I think the problem is that most times we like to quote the scriptures out of context.
Yeah,
we don't take the full scripture
according to how it suits you.
Yeah, we just always look for ways to make it suit us.
Yeah, I don't think
so people say, oh, wife, submit to your husband. Yes, the Bible says that, but the Bible also says, husband, love your wives just as Christ loves the church.
Immediately after submitting to husband.
So people just take
men. It's not people. Some men, because it's men that like saying, oh, my wife did not submit to me.
But then you know that a lot of women use it in counseling as well to say, oh, women are supposed to submit to your wives. So you're supposed to submit to your husband, but they don't go to the later part and say, oh, men also love your wife the way Christ loved the church. And how did Christ really love the church? He gave his life for us.
In case you think we are just saying this off the books, all of you that used to use the word wives are supposed to submit to their husband, the only place you got that from is the Bible. So go and use the Bible to read what God says after the submission. Let me tell you where the passage is, so that you will not say we are just saying it offhand. It is in Ephesians chapter 5, verses 21 to 33. Quote, spirit-guided relationships, wives and husbands. Go and read it there. Immediately after they said, wives, submit to your husband as to the Lord, for the husband is the head of the wife, as Christ is to church. In 25, it says, husbands, this means love your wives just as Christ loved the church. He gave his life for her.
See how passionate you are about it.
Holy and clean.
Wow.
Which means, as a husband, you can't be telling me as your wife to submit to you if you haven't loved me enough to almost give your life for me. At least I know you will not die for me.
Wait, I think let's talk about what really works for works for us. Yeah, that's just the basis. Only that's I don't know. I feel like
I'm passionate about it.
So passionate about it.
Me.
Yeah, but on a general note.
That's the base
Yeah, but
of
then
the conversation.
for us,
Okay.
for we as the
I
theogunlanas,
just feel like that's where it starts from. So if you're saying submit, don't forget your own role.
No, but then again,
husband.
it's submission is also like respect. Respect is not given; it is earned. It's the same thing with submission, I believe. It's earned.
Oh, I like that. Oh, that's smart, my baby.
Yeah, it's earned. You don't. Submission is not something you demand for because you are the husband or you are the man of the house. No, you earn it as well. You earn your submission. How do you earn your submission? I mean, by loving your wife. As simple as it sounds, because talk is cheap, and
That's
then
right.
love is not just about saying, "Oh, baby, I love you. I love you, baby." But then none of my actions show that I actually love you.
Actions speak louder than words.
Because we're not trying to be so quoting scriptures here, but then our point of reference, we are Christians, and our point of reference will always be the Bible. For God so loved the world that He gave. If you love comes with sacrifice and giving and putting other people first and putting your loved one first. That is what love is.
Charity
sacrifice
still begins at home.
Yeah, so you can't love your wife and say and not give yourself to her, and not give your love to her, and not give your attention, your money, everything to her.
I think another angle I want to add to that point is you can't tell me you're being charitable or that you're giving to people outside, and people outside is coming to say, thank you, sir. Thank you, ma. Your husband is a great girl. Your wife is a wonderful woman. But your household is on fire. It's not your household. The people in your home, your wife, your children cannot feel your impact. Sorry, you have lost it.
Yep.
The Bible says you should, number one, love your God. Your
Pastor Mrs. Ogulano.
Love your God with your mind, with all your heart, and with all your soul. The second one is love your neighbor as yourself. By the time you're in a marriage, your husband and wife is already one. That's yourself. How are you loving the person? Anyways, we are not here to preach.
Yeah.
We have some actual practical points that tell you how you should be submitting in your marriage. Submission it's not just for the wife, it's for everybody.
Maybe it sounds like you're sounding like you're trying to.
It's 100%, isn't it?
We're talking from the point of our marriage.
Yeah, definitely. That's what I'm saying.
From our standpoint.
Well, apart from even our marriage, that's what marriage should be. So if you submit in your marriage, I'm supposed to be giving 100. You're supposed to be giving 100.
Yes, I get it.
Exactly.
But then again,
and a day when I'm not feeling 100, when I'm maybe mentally stressed or something, if I give 80, then he'll carry me with 120 because
we're supposed to help each other.
We're supposed to help each other get to that peak point. And if he carries me on a day when he's not feeling 100, I'll carry him also.
Yeah, but then everybody has this mentality of, everything is 50-50. No, it's 100-100. Yeah, I give you my 100, you give me your 100.
That's right.
And then we roll with it. Yep.
Anyways, like I said, we're here to talk practically. So the first point about making your marriage work and submitting to your marriage, since we want to use the word submission, we'll continue to use that word. Submitting to your marriage is accountability. Accountability.
You're sounding like you're trying to counsel people, but let's talk both of us now.
That's what I'm saying. We're talking from our own perspective.
Do you think I'm accountable to you?
You are accountable to me.
You feel so?
Accountable and transparent, yes.
Yeah.
Should I give points? Why?
Yeah,
sure. That's what I'm saying. We'll list the points. I'm talking from my own perspective. So accountability and transparency. If my husband is leaving my house today, our house, he's going out of the house, I know exactly where he's going to.
Yep.
I know how he's going to get there. I know who he's going to meet. I know how many people he's going to see.
Yep.
He's not reporting to me.
Nope.
He's just telling me.
Exactly.
Because he's accountable to me.
Yep.
I need to know what's going on. If I'm going out of my house, he knows where I'm going to, how I'm getting there, how I'm coming back, who am I going to meet, how many people are there. If there's somebody that I even met that I didn't know that was going to be there, I'll even chat him, this guy there, it's not like you're reporting to the person.
No, it's not.
You just be doing like gist. This person there, this person, I'm not even saying this person they call me there,
but then again, I think like it still goes down. It still boils all the way down to friendship.
Yeah.
And having that friendship, because at the end of the day, you can only be accountable to your friends.
Baby, no, I don't agree with that.
To a large extent, to someone that you built a relationship with. That's what friendship. Yeah,
that's
you can. Yeah. I mean,
but there's some things that you still not be accountable for to your friend, but you have to be accountable for those things to your spouse.
Yeah, your spouse. But that's what I'm not talking about friendship like friendship. Right? I'm talking about friendship in marriage. And friendship.
Okay, all right.
That's what I'm talking about. Not friendship like other people
still,
know.
I
mean
think
friendship
even
in
if
marriage.
you're married and you had a friendship, and maybe down the line in your marriage something has gone off key, the friendship is already suffering. So
yeah, so I think maybe the secret is not to let this friendship suffer.
Maybe
because it's so important at the end of the day. I mean, I cannot undermine the strength of friendship in marriage and in relationship.
Is maybe the key point is not thinking of your spouse or friendship with your spouse as friendship with people outside. I think that's the important thing that you just said. Maybe some people in marriage consider, oh, well, she's my friend.
Yeah,
so I don't have to
I can treat her the way I treat my guys, or I treat my exactly. You can't do that.
So I think that's it. Yeah. Okay. So accountability. That's what being accountable is. You're not reporting to your spouse. Your spouse needs to know everything. Be accountable. Take responsibility. The second one is transparency. Be transparent in everything, your feelings, your emotions, your finances.
Yeah.
Be transparent.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you're struggling with your finance due to one thing or another,
let your partner know.
Let your partner know.
Yep.
Because
I mean, sometimes I spend money in this house and then she asks me, where are you seeing this money? Like I spend I do some things and she's like, from where?
Yes, sir.
And then I have to explain to her, okay, I did this, I did that. I mean, yeah.
That's just it. I mean, it's not, like I said, it's not a report. It's just being accountable and transparent.
And then to be fair, I think I like when she asks me those questions, like, how did you get? It shows that you're not just saying, oh, I don't really care as long as I'm getting the baby girl treatment. I mean, that's not. At the end of the day, if I burn out or get into something that you can't. So
if you're coming to arrest us,
who's coming to arrest me?
Let me know whether I'm following you to jail or not.
No, but then it's just.
So yeah.
It's also always good to know that accountability and transparency
cannot be overrated.
No, it can't. No, it can't.
The next point we had is teamwork.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Honestly, you can't say that enough.
Yeah.
Teamwork makes the dream work. Like
we talk about putting 100%. Everyone needs to put in 100%. Yeah.
Your wife is not your slave. Hello.
Yeah, no.
Hello. Can I say that again? Your wife is not your slave.
Why you? I don't understand.
I'm just saying.
It's like,
can I actually say something else? Your husband is not your money tree. For you to know.
Yeah.
Everything is teamwork.
Yeah, teamwork.
You bring, I bring. He brings, I bring. I bring, he brings. That's how it works.
But then at the end of the day, even when it comes to household being domesticated, doing chores around the house, and cooking, feeding, doing all of that. I mean, teamwork seems to come into play. Yeah. Teamwork is really important.
Let me break some tables. Hello, sir. You watching? Excuse me, sir. If you are a man, can you wash plates? Do you have children? Can you clean their bum if they go to the toilet?
Do you help around the house once?
Have you swept before? Have you vacuumed?
Or it's just your wife that does all of that? I mean,
have you done the laundry? You know how to separate your laundry?
To be honest, I mean, we can sit back as African men and say, oh, I'm an African man, so my wife would do everything. I think that mentality is archaic.
It's archaic.
And then right now, I don't think that's really a smart statement to make, because we keep saying, oh, and at the end of the day, you wonder why people grow up and they're always saying, oh, my mother, I raised my mother. I mean, me, I'm trying to get to a space. I'm trying to put myself in a space where when my children grow up, they didn't just say my mother, they say my father, because they've seen how actively involved I was in grooming them and doing all of that. I mean, you can't sit back and say, I'm an African man and then my job is just to provide financially for the family and my wife will do the rest.
When you get older, what are your children going to say about their relationship with you? Here's another great question. Ask yourself, do you want your daughter to marry a man like you? Ask yourself, truly, have you been the kind of man to your girls that you want your girls to marry? Do you want your daughters to marry the kind of man that you are?
Yeah.
Hey?
Yes, for me, I'm asking the question. Yes.
Yes. Oh, I want my daughters to marry this kind of man. Yes, this is a
100%.
benchmark. 100%.
100%.
I opened my eyes to marry this one. I chose it. You are doing well, my husband. You are doing well. Now, man, you be.
All this whining,
Anyway.
all this whining, your appraisal, there's not going to change your appraisal
I'm
scores
not working
and
towards
stuff.
my appraisal, my friend. Jerry.
Wow. Just a quick reminder, just in case you're getting carried away.
That would be
But yeah.
Anyways, that's teamwork. The
Yeah,
next
teamwork.
point we have is intentionality. And can I just say, I can't say this enough. This point will actually have its own video in future.
Yep.
Being
Intentional. Yep.
Intentionality. What does it mean to be intentional in your marriage? Ask yourself, are you intentional?
It's the same way it sounds intentional. It's just putting in effort. You need to put in the work. Like it's nothing good comes easy.
Yeah.
You need to put in the work.
Put in that work.
Yeah.
You need to working in your marriage, working to make your marriage happy.
Yeah, you have to play your part. And your partner also has to play their part.
It's consistent, isn't it?
It's
constant. It's every day. That intentionality is every day.
Yep.
Is your spouse happy? Wife, is your husband happy? Husband, is your wife happy? Are you intentionally making your family, your home,
and also intentionality,
a peaceful and happy place?
Intentionality, you also have to talk. Do you know your partner's love language? What do they like? What are the things they like? I mean, you need to be really intentional about it. I mean, if we randomly ask many of you, you don't even know what your partner's love language is. You don't know what they like. You don't know if it is act of service, random giftings, words of affirmation. You don't know.
But I think some men these days just assume that the only thing women want is money.
Gifting, yeah. Not everybody's love language is gifting.
Money.
I have a friend whose wife does not really like gifts. She prefers experiences. So you need to understand what your partner loves. You need to understand what they like. Do they like random giftings? What do they really like?
Yep.
I mean, do you know your partner well enough to say, oh, if she's in a bad mood right now, I know what to get her to make it to lift.
That's right.
To lighten the mood.
Or if she's feeling stressed, or can you even notice or see how stressed your spouse is?
Can you?
That's the problem.
Are you paying enough attention?
Are you paying enough attention to notice when your spouse feels stressed? We won't dwell too much on this point.
Yep, because we'll talk about it more. It's a topic on its own. Yep.
Right, the next one I have is mutual intimacy, physical affection, respect, trust, mutual. So the mutuality covers all of that. Intimacy, physical affection, respect, and trust. I remember when we just started dating, and Olu, I think we hadn't, done anything yet. And I was asking him, oh, why are you so... And even before, he started dating me, I was like, why are you so, laid back and not trying to push me to do anything or to even be your girlfriend? And he was like, I'm very big on mutuality.
Yeah.
If you're not ready, I can't push.
Yeah.
And I think that was the first thing he said to me that resonated with me so much. And I was like, right, this man is serious. So,
I'm really big on mutuality.
You can't underestimate the mutuality in your marriage. Mutual physical affection. Are you loving towards your spouse? Not just looking for, but things like, do you hold? Do you hug? Do you just give that big hug? That, just make your spouse feel safe.
But then again,
or just checking how you feeling mentally. Are you okay? How many times have you asked your spouse, are you okay? How are you? How are you? That simple question. How are you actually? And then physical, mutual respect, mutual trust. You can't be using horrible words on your spouse. I mean, if I tell my husband, you're crazy, we know we are joking. But I can't insult him, especially during a fight. If we're fighting or having a conflict, I'm not going to ask him, you're crazy, because it will blow out of proportion.
Most def.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
So are you mutually aware of what's happening around you? Do you respect your spouse? What kind of things are you saying about your spouse in her presence, in his presence, at their back? What kind of things will people say you're saying? If based off the things you've said about your spouse to other people, are they going to respect your spouse?
Yep.
Really, like, what are you saying? Are you respecting this person?
I think sometimes you hear some men talk about their wives and then you be like, and then you see the wife and then you be like, it does
How?
not add up. Yeah, something is not, the math is not massing.
What up?
It's not adding up. Yeah,
What up?
I told them so. I think with some men, I'm talking for men especially, because when we have all those our beer parlogists and beer parlor talk, you hear a lot of guys say a lot of rubbish about their wives at home. And when you get to meet these women, you see that it's really not true. And then it just shows you how deep or how dysfunctional the marriage is, and how things are not being mutual. There's no mutuality in the marriage, and everything is just because you hear them say things like, "Oh, my wife is meant to do everything for me."
Mm.
Now, when I hear people speak like that, I'm scared because she said she be human being.
Ah,
You know what I mean?
yourself, have a human being.
She's supposed to be taken care of. She's supposed to be your baby girl. How does the love of your life? How do you convert the love of your life to a slave? I don't know. To the slave of your life.
Slave of your life. Anyway, yeah, that's mutuality. Just mutual intimacy, physical affection, respect, and trust. The fact that you're married somebody does not mean you don't respect the person anymore. Respect your spouse, okay?
Yeah. Don't leave room for see finish.
The next one I have here is selflessness, minimal acts of kindness, and emotional awareness. Just being emotionally aware. Okay, we've already addressed that.
Yeah.
Are you aware when your spouse is feeling down and
But
why?
you think I'm emotionally aware?
That gist. I think I'll leave that and we'll talk about it in the video of intentionality. How I was not even aware of how aware my husband is about me and the level of attention he had when I was down. I was blown, like it blew my mind. I fell in love with him all over again, and I'll give you the gist on another video.
Okay.
So yeah, are you selfless? Do you give yourself to your spouse? Are you selfless? What does it mean to be selfless? Are you selfless about your spouse? Like, you can do anything without feeling like you're doing something. Nothing. If your wife asks you or if your husband asks you for something, it shouldn't bother you that they are asking. Like if my husband says, "Baby, send me this money," it doesn't bother me that he's asking. I'll send it if I have it. What's there? And if I need to buy something, Olu will say, "Just use my card." It's being selfless. Sometimes you say you give me back. Oh, I don't know. I mean, I don't borrow. I never give.
On this
back.
topic of using my card, this girl steals my credit card every other night to shop.
I don't use to steal. Why are you telling people that?
And then she creates a conversation about it with my phone to herself in my sleep.
Approving the
use of the card. And most times I wake up and I look at my phone and I'm like, when did this happen? No, I'll show you an example of one.
There is evidence that I asked. Do you understand?
Wow.
And he approved.
Wow.
So that is it. Anyways, minimal acts of kindness. In our previous video, I mentioned that Olu randomly comes home and he has bought me something like a small chocolate or something. Just those minimal acts of kindness. Or I'm going to the shop and I just buy random popcorn because I know he likes popcorn. It's small things, okay? And then the last one is consistency.
Consistency is key.
Marriage
in anything you are doing.
It's an ongoing journey. You must be consistent. All of these things that we've listed is not one day it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It is a consistent journey.
Yep.
Never ends.
Never ends.
Never ends. Every day you must be intentional. Every day you must be accountable.
Yep.
Every day you must be transparent.
Yep.
If you get a promotion tomorrow, I must know that you've gotten a promotion. I must know that your finance has changed.
Yep.
I must know everything. Like my husband just told me something they've asked him to do more in the office yesterday. It hasn't been approved, but he's told me that he's been asked. Transparency.
Yep.
He's not going to hide that he's any more money from me. Transparency. Consistent. All of these points must be consistent.
And how does all this lead to? How does all this factor into your wife being submissive and loving? If you look at it in the wider spectrum of things, to be fair, if you are consistent, if you are consistently intentional about loving your wife, there is no the most submissive women are the ones that are loved the most by their husband.
That's right.
It's not rocket science. I mean, if you are intentional about your woman, you love her, I mean, you cannot
With
say
your actions, though.
actions speak louder than words, my guys. So if you are consistent with being intentional, you're consistent with being affectionate and paying attention to your woman, then only if you marry winch.
Exactly.
Only if you marry winch.
Yeah.
If you don't marry winch.
Still, after God, fear woman.
Yeah.
So only if you marry those ones that you need to fear.
Only if you marry the devil, then if you are doing all of that,
Any reasonable woman
exactly
will submit to you without question.
And submission is not kneeling down and say, oh my lord,
that's serve you food.
Oh my lord, that's not it. We have a very archaic mentality about submission, because when people say submission, they're always like my wife will kneel down and say,
your majesty,
your royal highness, sir. No, it's more about the way they listen to you, they pay attention to you, the way you just sort of say something and then
they've done it for you without question.
I know sometimes I just say some things jokingly, and then because of the way I say it, she takes it as an instruction. I mean, it's almost,
it becomes a command.
Yeah, it's just
because I have nothing to argue about. When he has given his life to me, I have nothing to argue about.
I ask you for something. I say do something, and you're not going to
argue.
Yeah,
what am I arguing about?
It's not your time to play your part, because I've done mine.
That's right.
Yeah.
So I think I'll end it with this sentence. There's something I always tell my children. If I teach them about kindness a lot in class. I teach them about kindness a lot. And I keep saying, somebody said something in my class one day and he was like, treat people the way you want to be treated. I said, no, let's scrap that sentence. I don't like that one. It is treat people the way they want to be treated. My own act of service or my own love language might be physical affection. My husband's might not be. I'm not going to treat him like his love language is physical affection because mine is. No, treat your spouse the way they want to be treated. How does your spouse want to be treated? What does your spouse want? What makes your spouse happy?
If you don't know the answer, then maybe just start having that conversation with your spouse today.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's never too late. Just find out.
Make it better.
Yeah.
In case maybe you've gotten to this part of the video, you're not doing all these things yet.
Yep.
Start asking those questions. How
do better? Be better.
A better spouse.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is a long video. We'll come to the end of this video right now. Thank you so much for watching.
If you've made it this far, thank you so much.
Thank you. We love you. We love you always. Remember, always, we love you. Only remember, we're now doing all the fingers. It makes it better heart. See? Like that. We love you always. Thank you so much. If you haven't subscribed, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and see you on the next video. We'll try our best to be consistent. We'll try. Olu, don't say that. We'll try. I need to give them something.